Tonight at 10, the scale of the Omicron crisis is revealed as new figures suggest 1 in every 15 people in the UK was infected in the run-up to New Year's Eve. No more PCR tests to confirm a positive lateral flow result in England and Wales to help ease pressure on labs if there are no symptoms, but fears remain for hospitals.
Potentially of greatest concern, case rates are now rising rapidly among the older and more vulnerable, including doubling every week among those over 60, with the obvious risk that this will continue to increase the pressures on our NHS.
However, the Prime Minister insists the current level of COVID restrictions in England is helping take the edge off the Omicron wave. Also tonight, Novak Djokovic has his visa revoked to play in the Australian Open. It follows controversy over an exemption to COVID vaccine rules. A state of emergency is declared in Kazakhstan following mass protests sparked by surging fuel prices.
It's a victory for anyone who wants to be on the right side of history.
And 4 are cleared in Bristol of criminal damage after the toppling of a statue during a Black Lives Matter protest.
And coming up in the sport on the BBC News Channel, Wales could play their home Six Nations rugby matches in England, away from their Cardiff base because of COVID restrictions.
Good evening. Boris Johnson insists the current level of COVID restrictions in England is helping take the edge off the Omicron wave and that the government is taking a balanced approach to the pandemic. But new figures highlight the scale of the challenge. The latest survey from the Office for National Statistics shows that 1 in every 15 people across the UK had COVID in the run-up to New Year's Eve. That's the highest level of infections recorded by the ONS since the pandemic began. Now, rules on testing are to change to try to help cope with demand. Anyone who has a positive lateral flow test but no symptoms won't have to confirm the result with a PCR test. Number 10 says it's not sensible to use PCR capacity when prevalence of COVID is extremely high. With more details, here's our Deputy Political Editor, Vicky Young.